Hey guys, this is Gopinath Vijay Kumar here. In this particular video, I am going to be sharing with you the four stages of learnings. Be it any skill in this particular world, right? Which you wanted to learn, you need to go through this four stages of learning. And I'm going to be revealing that today in this particular video. Let's get started. The first stage, before even getting into the stages, understanding the stages of learnings, you need to understand the meaning of two words. Number one is conscious. What is it? Conscious. Now, the meaning of word conscious is being aware. Okay? The second word is competent. What does competent means? Ability to perform any task. So these are the two words combined together and put it in different stages to understand the entire stages of learning. Let me explain you the first stage. The first stage is called as unconsciously incompetent. What does it mean? Unconsciously incompetent. You're not even aware of a task or skill or something which exists and you don't know how to handle it. Let's take an example. When you are a kid, right? You might not be aware that there is something called as car, C-A-R, car, right? And if you don't even know whether it is existing, then you might not be definitely in a position to drive it, right? So that's the first stage. The first stage is unconsciously incompetent. So after some time, what happens? You go to the school and teacher teaches you that there is something called as a car which is existing, which is used to transport people from one place to another place. That is a stage where you become aware of something, but still you don't know how to drive a car. So which means you're consciously incompetent. You're aware of something, but you don't know to do that. Now look at this third stage. Once you become an adult, you go to a driving class to try to learn how to drive a car. You start learning it. So the third stage becomes consciously competent. Now you know how to drive a car. So consciously you learned that skill, but still you have not mastered it. Now the fourth stage is you start practicing for some time, and then you got a license, and then you started driving a car into the city. And no matter what, you should be able to drive car anywhere. So subconsciously you have become competent. You don't need to be more conscious in terms of driving a car. Where is the gear? Where is the which is the brake? Which is the clutch? You don't have to really keep that in your mind. But once you mastered that, it becomes a subconscious activity. It becomes an involuntary action. Right? So these are the four stages of learning. Be it any skill, you would have to go through these four stages. The stage number one is unconsciously incompetent, where you are not even aware that that particular item exists in this world. Number two, you become consciously incompetent. You become aware of that particular item, but you don't know how to handle it. The third one is consciously competent, where you have the way you are practicing that particular skill. You need to take conscious effort in applying that skill. The fourth one is unconsciously competent. Nobody has to come and teach you. Nobody has to tell you how to do that. It comes of involuntary action for you. So one of the biggest problem most of the managers have is that they don't even know that their team members are in the stage one. They might not even aware of certain skills. Let's take an example of problem solving. There is an escalation coming in and they need to apply certain techniques to solve that particular problem. what happens, they might not know that there are certain skill sets available, like probably a Lean Six Sigma techniques or a simple PDC or whatever it can be. They might not be aware of it. They stand at level 1. So your responsibility is to make them aware to move from stage 1 to stage 2. Right? So you made them aware how to solve that particular problem. And then what happens, you need to coach them, guide them in solving a particular problem for some time, and they have to apply that technique which they've learned daily until it becomes a part of their system. Right? So understand this learning stages wherever you are. Probably even you can do an exercise by yourself. Take a list of all the skill sets or areas which you wanted to develop. Right? List it down. Put it against each of the skill sets. Where do you really stand? Do you stand in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 or stage 4? Stage 4 is a fantastic stage where anybody wants to be. Right? If you're not there, right, try to do that. Now, moving from stage 3 to stage 4 becomes, requires a lot of consistency. What is consistency? When there is no deadline and you wanted to practice that. When there is no deadline, there is no pressure. That's what I learned it from one of the coach when I was doing a podcast. Right? What is the difference between the consistency when there is no deadline and still you go ahead and do it with a lot of passion? Then it becomes consistency. So, list down all the possible, or list down all the skills which you want to acquire, and each of the skill sets, try to put these stages and take actions against each of the skill sets. And you need to do it for yourself and for your team members as well if you want to become a great, effective manager. Be it a first line manager or be it a second line manager, it doesn't matter. Do this diligently. This will help you a lot. If you're watching this particular video in YouTube, hit the like button. And if you're part of my community, great. If you're not part of my community, hit the subscribe button and the bell button as well. And if you're watching this particular video on Facebook, hit the like button and do share this video if you really think that this is making value addition. Stay safe. God bless you.